All right. Well, just we're gonna get started with this. Deemer, what's up, man?
How's it going?
This is like classic technology, but luckily, people will just probably give us a break since it's like new
New age.
frontiers, new age. Yeah, we're not in the '90s anymore.
I think the kids who are like 10 and 20 years old who stream their video games are probably more up to speed than we are.
Yeah, no doubt. Well, anyways, I'm really fired up to have this chat with you, and this is going to be pretty fun to look at some highlights from the Blaze launch game. But before we get started, just why don't you tell us a little bit let's talk about what we're up to, and then we'll kind of get into it.
Yeah, sounds great. So I'm currently a professional lacrosse player for the Atlanta Blaze. Graduated from Duke in 2016. Worked in New York for a year, and I left to pursue lacrosse, which is what I'm passionate about full time. I've been coaching at McDonough in Baltimore, Maryland since September, and traveling the country, running shooting clinics, offensive training sessions. I'm doing a lot of privates and small groups, working with teams, programs, doing some customized stuff, some of my programming, and then I've been dipping into a little bit of online training as well, which I know you're doing a lot of too, which is exciting. I think it's a cool way to use technology to give kids and coaches access, all over the country. So that's kind of, short story what I've been doing, since last July. So it's been a blast.
Awesome. Well, we got to be on the same team for one game last year, which is fun. Unfortunately, it didn't last all that long, but it sounds like you're in shape and ready to roll. So, as Deemer said, he's got his RBDC company going where they do in-person and some remote coaching as well, dipping into it. And that's kind of the direction I went. So, obviously, I've started this company, JM3 Sports, and I'm doing a ton of coaches training and players training. And I just thought it'd be really fun to engage with Deemer here. He's a world-class player, and I love nothing more than watching lacrosse and talking about lacrosse with people that are as into it as I am. So, Deemer, why don't you pop those highlights up there, and we can sort of check it out. I'm pretty fired up to see it.
Yeah, sounds good. I'll let's see here. Share my screen.
And everybody, while Deemer's doing that, he's coming on. One of the reasons why we're doing this Facebook Live today is because I have a webinar tomorrow night for my coaches training program, and Deemer's coming on to do a shooting talk. And so we figured, hey, let's do a Facebook Live and talk about our shooting talk. But then I was like, why don't we show some film? It'll be so much more interesting for people to watch.
Yeah, I think I was talking to Coach Ford, the other night, and I think it's a really cool opportunity to kind of you think about all the coaches and players of your own team. You watch film of who you're playing against, individuals, teams, schemes, and all that stuff. But since I've been coaching in for the past couple of years, but this year for McDonough, I've been sending my guys, so many Duke clips, so many individual clips, team concepts, because for me, that's what I'm doing to learn. I'm learning every time I'm watching stuff, and I know they are too. So it's just really good to try and watch as much lacrosse as possible. And, if you really love it, it doesn't really feel like work. Just getting to watch some film is a lot of fun, and you watch guys played with some guys in Vail and stuff like that, and you're getting to just break down and see what you can do to better yourself and better the guys you're coaching.
No doubt. All right, so you got some.
Can you see my Safari screen?
I'm seeing. What you have to do. All I'm seeing is a window that shows like the bench.
Right. Okay. So,
yeah.
If I hit. Let's see here. So you see that?
Yes.
Does it show the stuff on the side, or is it just the game screen?
Yeah, no, you shouldn't. You should go full screen with it if you can. There you go. Beauty.
Cool.
All right, let's check it out.
Yeah. So so we got off. Obviously, I have our goals teed up. To start. We lost 13-10 on Saturday, which is tough first game. I think, guys getting some jitters out, myself personally, but, also just trying to, figure each other out and gel as a unit. Austin Kaut in goal for Florida had a great game, made a lot of saves early. They got up on us 5-0, but from there we were able to, put a couple on the net and kind of settle in. So hopefully we can keep building, moving on the next week. So I've got all the goals teed up, and we can kind of take a look and go from there.
Sweet.
Good quality shot on Cage.
Is that you?
That's Dylan Donahue, played at Syracuse. Matt Gibson's number 66. He's got a short stick matchup here. Throws back to McCready's up top.
To McCready's. McCready's getting it back.
What are you guys running here?
We're at a 23, so just a 2-3-1, but it's pretty fluid. So guys
Final minute of the first quarter. And that shot put home by Beck.
Guys just, kind of working and reacting. I think like you want to start off dodging some short sticks and draw some slides, and you saw like Gibson with a shorty.
Yeah.
Guys, just playing fluid. So, here's a nice, feed by Kevin. I think, we saw early Cat was making a lot of saves, low, and Mike Begley played at Marist, had a great finish high, catching and
Rice
and finishing inside. So slide comes, great look. Great finish for the first goal.
He snuck in the back door.
Kaut is a classic. He's a great goalie, but he's going to snuff you low. So, if you kind of look low and throw it high, it's going in on that guy. He's a sick goalie, but I think he makes the miraculous low saves a lot.
Yeah, certainly.
In the first quarter, the tally by Begley.
Who's facing off?
That's Brent Hyken facing off, played at Stevenson.
It looked like they had the face-off for a moment, but Salcedo able to pick up the ground ball. And Florida a chance for the
I don't know. Let me see here. Sorry. But I had all the goals lined up, so
And a lot of times he can get away with that, especially at this level.
All right, so here we go. We're in a sideways 3-3.
Yeah.
Got a man up a couple minutes into the second quarter.
Maybe when you're up 7-1.
Trying to find that 3-on-2 matchup on the side.
4 penalty minutes last year. Picks up his first minute this season.
Get Dylan cutting into the middle. Move it.
Swinging it. Donahue. Good no-look feed in front, and Atlanta takes advantage of the man up. Tommy Palasek scores his.
Put it back. Nice look.
Yeah, it's myself up top here. If you kind of scroll back a little bit, what you're looking for in the sideways is you get the ball moving and touching the base on the back on the one side, and you see 3 Florida players committed. So that's a great time to try and spin it up top. And then I threw it to Dylan here. So now we got the 3-on-2 turns into the 2-on-1. And I know you always talk about, finding that 2-on-1 and odd man situation. So, Dylan steps in. He probably could throw this ball one more, but I think it looks like the defender, he does a good job of getting his stick in the lane. So, sometimes you want to throw that pass, but at the same time, we still probably have 40 seconds or so in the man up, and you want to make sure you're still fundamental with the ball. So he swings it back up top here.
Donahue.
All right, and then this guy rotated so quickly over because he saw that one more, and then that opens up this skip lane. And luckily, we got that ball through. Tommy Palasek played for the Lizards last year, catches and finishes on the doorstep. Catch finish.
No-look feed in front, and Atlanta takes advantage of the man up. Tommy Palasek.
So put it back. So it's interesting because like the way that some people play the sideways is that they just get the low guy to try to run the baseline and get backside help, and you guys took advantage of that.
Yeah, definitely. I think when we swing this ball, right? So like we said, we got.
Dylan might have been able to feed him too.
Yeah. So you see, like when we started up top. Bruckner throws this ball to me, right? So, you got number 25 down here. There's only 2 guys here, and they still got 3 over there. So, I'm stepping in. You always got to make sure you draw a guy, right? So, I think this is Jared Newman, great player out of Providence, steps up to the ball. hit Dylan on the one more. And then now you got that 2-on-1, but this guy is really aggressive shooting across. And then this guy here, he's probably got to sink down, get his stick in that passing lane.
Swinging it.
So, yeah, right there, Dylan probably could make that look. It's probably also, that saying between trying to hit the skips and then just getting good ball movement, right? Like, do you find that, Jamie, a lot? Like, especially with the high school guys, you want to get them to spin the ball and you want to get them to move it, quickly on
no doubt. You got to mix in he could be there, but one of the things is that, you have to be able to be kind of stepping into it, looking it off and being able to throw it. He's kind of got a little bit of pressure on his hands. It's when you don't have the perfect sort of your feet set and the ability to deceive the defense that you're going to get those things knocked down and picked off. So it's probably a better move that he moved it. You, on the other hand, got a chance to kind of step into it, look it off, and slide it in there.
Yeah, I'm stepping in and get a little, pump because I'm around the 2 line, get this guy to step up to me. You got, 1, 2, 3, even 4 guys kind of looking at the ball, and then you can kind of feed that back pipe. So.
Yeah. Good no-look feed in front, and Atlanta takes advantage of the man up. Tommy
Good to get one there on man up.
How fun is it playing in this league?
It's a blast. I think, right out of college, I was able to play 7 or 8 games or so, and, coming right out of Duke, and that was, awesome and exciting. And then I kind of started my job, and, I think having the opportunity to kind of commit to it full time has been really exciting. And, you play with a lot of guys you played with, you played against. So, build new relationships, which, I think has always been one of my favorite things about the sport is that how tight-knit of a community it is. So I think
we got here a little transition throwback.
Yeah, Mike Begley was playing kind of D-midi.
So Atlanta, so far the first 7 minutes of the second quarter,
kind of settle it up
defensively after giving up 7 first quarter goals.
Yeah, a couple great stops, and Robinson doing a good job in Malloy, just kind of disrupting his flow.
This is Kevin Rice working on Alec Tollett, Brown player here.
On the left wing,
working his matchup.
Defense of Alec Tollett fires one off anyways.
Yes, this is a great individual effort here.
Describe for me your opinion on how Kevin uses different moves to get a shot off. As roll it and describe it.
Yeah, certainly. So I think all game Kevin had Tucker Durkin on him. So I think in this kind of setting here, I think Kevin felt good about his opportunity. He's driving up to 5-5. He's patient with the ball. He's leaning in, creating some contact.
Defense of Alec Tollett fires one off anyways, and able to.
You see, when he rolls underneath, Tollett brings his stick over top,
left wing.
Right, and that's going to allow Kevin to kind of roll back and reposition and get a good position at the island, and then he's able to kind of step away, free his hands. And I saw it from the sidelines on that possession. I mean, Coutts, a lefty, he stuck it, right on the pipe near side. Incredible shot. So
how did he get his hands free? I know he steps away, but it looks like there's a little bit of a hesitation in his shot.
Defense of Alec Tollett fires one off anyway.
Yeah, it looks like he kind of took a check, and then
it looks like he was trying to sell a slash too.
Yeah, I think so. He kind of took a whack. He lift, and he's, if you look at his stick too, Kevin, look at his hands here. Kevin's hands are kind of, I like to think about having your hands in your back pocket, right? So, Tollett, even if he had his stick in front, he's not going to be able to get a good lift on his hands. So his hands are kind of tucked away, and that allows him, when he kind of, replants in the ground off his back foot, he's able to get enough weight transfer to kind of drive that ball and just shoot right around his defender. So he kind of uses the defender as a screen,
Alec Tollett
pulls it right around him. I mean, it's a great play.
Yeah.
Kevin's really crafty at getting his hands free, working those matchups, and takes a lot of checks. And
no doubt.
I really liked your analysis yesterday on Jeff Teat. All that he's doing with getting guys on his hands, all the contact he draws, but then freeing his hands with lever passes behind the backs. I think Kevin does a really nice job of that too.
No doubt.
Freeing himself.
Kevin Rice is tough, man. There's one thing about that guy is he is fearless. I mean, the dude doesn't even wear big arm pads, and he takes the biggest beating. It's pretty wild how physically he's able to absorb a lot of contact.
Absolutely, he's been fun to play with. It's nice. It's nice when he's not in orange. At least Syracuse orange, and we can play together a bit. So it's going to be a goal by Mike Begley. Let's see what we got here.
Atlanta has outscored Florida in the quarter.
So now we're 8-3. You know, get a couple on the board. That's me, number 5 there. Got the long pole.
Good defensive stand by Atlanta there. They've got to put a few more of those together.
How do you like being played by lefties? Do you like it better or worse?
Lefty D mids.
Lefty poles. Lefty poles.
You know, honestly.
You notice or no?
I don't mind it as much. I think
Do you like it better or do you like it not as much or same?
I don't like it as much because I like you know, when I'm, you know, driving to my, you know, I'm splitting right a lot, and I like being able to kind of lean in on the guy and have his stick more trailing me. I think like coming from up top, you have guys less likely to try and behold you than maybe like coming from behind. I think that might be a little different.
Yeah, it is. Yeah. As a lefty attackman, I didn't love going against lefty V-holds. It was just something I didn't see very often, and I would prefer just to have a nice cross-check there that I can, like, you know, not have to think about.
Right, get your shoulder into, like, you know, into that cross-check and kind of work that. You know, I just, you know, I'm not – even in college, like, wasn't coming from behind the cage as much. I didn't kind of get that look. It's a little different from up top, but I can definitely
the best lefty pull of my era was Dave Petramala, and you didn't want to dodge lefty on him.
I need to see some more film on the guys like him. I haven't.
The ball would be on the ground within 5 seconds if you went lefty on him. He was so long and so good with like every check in the book and maintaining his position that he would like literally just. You could go righty. You know, if you went righty on him, you probably wouldn't beat him, but you wouldn't lose the ball. But if you went lefty, forget it. It was like can opener, ding dong, over the head. You know, you name it.
Yeah, that's awesome.
It is pretty sick. All right, what do we got?
All right, Mike Begley here.
They're right back in this game.
Begley going downhill, then moving behind the cage. Flipping it for Bruckner.
So on that first dodge, you saw kind of a hedge. Get back. They didn't want to slide to their shorties a lot, as I'm sure a lot of guys in the league are kind of playing it like that.
Help coming from behind. Gibson gets it back
Swing
in
it,
front.
swing
Shot clock
it.
at 4. 2-point shot taken low. Count knocks it away. Rebound. Bounced in. Shot clock at 4.
So 3 seconds on the shot clock here.
Yeah.
Swing it up to Bruckner up top. You know, we talked a lot about, you know, skipping some of these twos late in the shot clock. Trying, you know, bounce it around the crease line. See if we can get it jumping up into the goalie's chest.
Mm-hmm.
Happened perfectly just right here. You know, rebound, not a clean save. Mike does a nice job of recognizing, catching, and dunking it.
So was that was an on-purpose skip shot to be able to create a rebound and maybe a reset?
Yeah, it's something that we talked a lot about in training camp. Coach Banks, you know, was really talking about, especially low in the shot clock. You know, like, you know, I think if you think about strategy-wise, you know, in the college game, right, it's low in the shot clock. All right, let's try and pitch it to the corner. Let's get our middies off. Let's sub and let's play defense like when the timer's on. Here, you know, we're kind of thinking like, you know, you could do that. And in some cases you might have to, like if you're behind.
If you got a lead late in the game, you'll do that, right? But.
Yeah, if you got a lead late in the game, if you're behind the cage and you're not going to be able to get it up top and get a shot, you don't want to, you know, kind of start a break for him. But, you know, here, you know, he might as well shoot this thing. You know, he's deep that he can get back and ride, puts it on cage, you know, kind of get a little skip. It was a rainy day on Sunday too, so you get a little bit of that slickness with the ball, and then, you know, right off the chest, get a guy, you know, crash the boards just like in basketball.
It's pretty sick.
You know, good way to manufacture a goal that we needed kind of heading into the half. So. Double Collins, move it again, step down.
Shot clock at 4, 2-point shot taken low, count knocks it away, rebound bounced in. Begley with the rebound, his second goal of the game.
All right, third quarter here. Gave up a couple goals to start. It was 9-4 at half. All right.
Go full screen there?
Yeah, I'm going to pull it up full screen. We're going to get a goal by Matt Gibson here. Kind of coming out of a 23 look.
Class to McCready's. Rice slings it in front. And
I don't even think we had
Rice,
our last guy on yet. So, here one of these D middies is waiting for a guy to come out of the box. I'm kind of probing a little bit. Step around this guy.
Clear the ball like that.
Throws a check. Now look, this guy comes to the ball, pull, slides to the ball. We got 3 guys to the ball, and we're playing 5-on-6.
Yeah.
So I think one thing that guys can, in general, at all levels, can take away is, I'm not dodging here. I'm not going hard here, but I think you always want to just be probing. You never know if a guy slips and falls. You never know if, I just step around the guy and all of a sudden 3 guys come to the ball.
Right. Totally.
And then just move it. It's, McCready's
just probing to see what they do. A lot of times people will screw up. But this is a classic example of, on defense, when you're man up, you need to communicate it and say, hey, we're extra, and one guy can kind of designate himself as a slider, and everybody's kind of matched up while you wait for the guy to come in. This guy overplays you because he thinks they're man up. That's why he's like, all right, I'm going to try to overplay. I'm going to overplay 5, and I'm going to try to see if I can take the ball away. And then all of a sudden, 17 was probably the extra. The guy on the crease slides, and now, like you said, there's a triple on you, and you guys created offense 5-on-6.
Yeah, so Mac fouls here, catch, slide comes upfield hard. Great one more, in and out of a stick. Kevin catches it, Gibby fills.
Slings it in front.
Great finish. I think that's just really good ball movement. And, it's great to get goals like that. Matt's a great lefty, but 2 hands are both phenomenal. And he does a great job of reading as that ball swings and then filling, but, before those guys can – fill the backside. So I'll play it through one more time here.
Cutting the middle, is one of those things that if you can get good at cutting the middle, you're going to get a ton of goals. I feel like you got a lot of goals that way at Duke, just cutting the middle.
Definitely. Man up and just zone offense is just – it's all about reading the flow. Bringing in with your teammates. It's starting to get a couple goals here, see if we can – make a run.
It'll be Atlanta ball. Trailing 11.
What's Rat doing?
Timeout.
He's doing great.
With his first goal in a Blaze uniform.
Played a really nice game on Sunday.
107th goal of his career.
He didn't get to play too much offense this year so far?
He didn't play much yet. We will see, though.
That's you?
Yeah.
Alcido. Gazo Scamperata comes from behind, finds the open man Rice, and he roots it for the score. Then he's knocked down and could be shaken up.
All right, so we'll bring it back up top here. So we get our guys on. All right, so, Dylan throws it down here. Kind of got, Kevin's getting in. This is kind of a 2-3-1, but also kind of, 1, 2, 3 middies. It's kind of also like a, 3-man top. I think just imagine if your typical, midi on the crease is just higher out, in your 2-3-1, it kind of all flows together and you guys are just playing. So Dylan throws it, little pick slip action, trying to get to the middle of the field.
McCready's steps inside the arc against Salcido.
Aggressive jump on that little pick slip.
Gazo Scamperata comes from behind, finds the open man Rice, and he roots it for the score. Then he's knocked down and could be shaken up. Kevin Rice.
Another Brown guy.
Who's that?
Ozzy was on our team last year for a little while.
Oh, yeah.
He'll step out and jump a pick anytime, won't he? And if you run into him, you're just running into a brick wall.
Yeah, he's a great player, super physical. So he does a nice job kind of taking the middle away here. What I'm thinking is, I could try to keep working this and try and turn this corner. But at the same time, we do have an offensive midi here in Sergio Salcido and Max out on the wing. And, I could really dodge this, but if I throw this ball, we got two shorties playing a little two-man. You got the option to weave it. You got the option. You see Mac kind of, goes under the pick, doesn't use it. And then, now we're playing out of it. And then we change up the slide guy. I'm running here. I hear that slip call. I try to get out. He sloughs off. He overcommits. And then now I'm popping the space. And then they're going to slide off Kevin here.
Gazzo Scamperata
and
comes
then
from
he
behind.
just
Finds the open man Rice, and he roofs it for the score. Then he's knocked down and could be shaken up. Kevin Rudd. He's
one more time
inside the arc against Salcido.
I think one thing, this is the last thing and then if you have any thoughts on this play, but, one thing I'm always talking to the guys at McDonough about is working your matchup, right? So here, Mac has it lefty. He could kind of think like this space isn't really open, right? And he could just keep carrying it to his left hand, but he tries to get back underneath and he really draws that slide, right? So he's patient. He's working the matchup, tries to draw the slide. He puts it back in his right. He's a threat.
Yep.
And then this draws that slide at the last minute from Durkin, and he has great stick work to make this feed.
Comes from behind, finds the open man.
It's such a great point because so many people are taught, put your stick in your left hand there and stick protection wise. And what people don't realize, the whole game is about angles and, getting the stick back to his right hand, especially because he's a righty, but, gets it back to his right hand to the inside hand. He's got angle to shoot and score. They have to slide. And if you notice, Rice catches it righty too. And there's a lot of guys that would, traditionally always have caught that with their left hand to score it. And to be able to sort of catch it with your inside hand, it gives you more angle to shoot far side or to pull it. So.
Yeah, and a lot of times too, that guy shows and doesn't go. So that's just another time where you can get underneath. And if I can pull the clips up, depending on our time, there was 2 times I was able to get under. Unfortunately, didn't finish, but similar kind of concept. All right, so we got 4 goals left here.
Lax Sports Network. Looking forward to heading to Charlotte. That game Friday.
All right, end of the quarter here.
The Hounds taking on the Rattlers. It's a 2-game weekend.
Run a little Nations look up top. Swing it to X.
Sunday against Denver.
That's a lot to ask of those players, but
swing it up top.
One game at a time.
Now we got the 2 shorties. Little pick slip.
So Atlanta.
Catch.
They've been able to slow the attack overall of Florida.
Shot.
And now they score one with Deemer class. And I was just about to bring up.
Shorty, pick slip.
Yeah, so I love working this, in the wing, like high wings, middle of the field, because so many times 2 shorts are just playing sides. Not too concerned about matchups when you're on shorties. So, just getting that confusion, and it happens fast. I'm moving at this guy. Max running hard to the middle of the field. They want to switch it, but, I'm getting out. I'm able to create some separation here. And I'm getting out.
So Atlanta. Yeah.
Yazzo's going to jump it too, so that's even a better reason to get out of there.
Yeah, he puts the brakes on. Yeah. He's trying to jump this. Now, after this guy retreats here, he's got his back to the ball, so, Mac throws this thing, and now I'm catching it on a fade. Yep. So I can catch and shoot, I can catch and hitch, or I can catch face dodge and get under.
Yep.
A lot of options. And, I'm excited for our, shooting talk. I'm going to, get into the hitch move a little bit. But, there's a whole kind of, fade series, some of that we picked up from Coach Brundage at Marquette, where you kind of have all these tools out of this kind of action.
Yeah.
That you can utilize to be a threat.
They've been able to slow the
attack. Let me ask you a question. Put it back one more time, and here's my question for you. So, Mac does a great job of delivering the ball, but how, what I was thinking about is, what do you teach? What he did a pretty good job was make his guy – the whole key to the thing is you slipping out early and him keeping his guy on him for just long enough to make you open. Because if they switch at the right time – then you could have been covered. And so, I usually try to teach a little bit of just if you give a little bit of a look, if you give a little bit of a fake and go, you can like bring the guy to you for an extra step that he might have taken. Mac kind of accomplishes this by actually just jabbing a little bit. He kind of sells with more of like a jab step right there. He sells that he's going. And it puts that shorty in a position where he's a little bit late getting to you, and that's all it takes.
Yeah, definitely. And I think too, some of the things that I'm also focused on. One, you got to do a good job with the ball. You got to set up the pick. You got to run hard, and you got to kind of read what they're doing. This guy, the picker, in situations like you have a couple of different options. Like you want to set hard picks, or you're going to slip, or, we call them flybys at Duke, where that's kind of what this is too, is you're running at the guy and then you really just, keep running past them. Right. And you're getting out of there. You got to kind of read, and take notes mentally throughout the game. We saw in a couple early goals, they're jumping the picks, right? And they're switching. So as a player, you got to pick up on that, and then you got to apply it, and it all goes back to that idea of probing. It's if this isn't open, we're still playing offense. It's not a home run, like all or nothing. It's here's one time we're going to run a 2-man game. You see what we can get. And then over the course of a game, you're going to get a guy, on a different situation, and you're going to, get yourself open. So was able to kind of separate here. And that was just, me trying to read off of what they were doing in the past. And Mac has a nice feed. And then one of the things I always focus on with our guys for shooting is, catching it in a shooting position, getting your hands, ready, dropping your top hand, so that you can catch and release. And you see my hands up my stick here. Once he throws this ball, right, I'm dropping it, react to the pass, and then it's in and out.
Attack overall of Florida, and now they score one with Deemer. I was just about to bring up.
What we got next? Goal by Kevin Rice.
Oh yeah, Kevin Rice goal here.
Kevin Rice is one of the best shooters in the league.
He is. What
a shooter he is, man.
Very deceptive.
He's so deceptive. He's got the classic low high windup.
I love it. I love that. $30 seconds left in the quarter. Great job.
And that's in the back of the net for.
All right, so let's see here. All right, well, cut by Mac there. Gibby swings it up top. Got a pull here, but, got to initiate. So just drive down, see if I can work, get this guy hedging. Swings it down to Kevin, or sorry, that's Tommy. Run off a little 2-man. Draws that slide. Turn the corner and score.
And that's in the back of the net for Atlanta.
So now, we're getting action up top here. I think I'm out high. I might be inside, but
who slid there? So
you see here, Tommy does a great job of really trying to turn this corner and score, right?
He gets physical, man. That's what makes the play is how physical he got.
Right. When sometimes, I think younger guys especially get caught up in a 2-man is you have your double-double if you don't have anything. But every time you come around the goal, you're trying to score. And Tommy does a really nice job of driving hard. And then Tucker here, is looking to slide. He wants to be aggressive. He wants to double. And as he drives up, the guy turns him back. But now he's kind of here, and Kevin's on this backside crease. Tommy moves it. Catch. And he's already, he's 3 yards from goal line extended.
No doubt.
Great finish. This is me right here. So I'm in this top center spot, and then now I'm fading now here, bringing this possible slide guy farther away so he can't get there.
Kevin does an amazing job on those low angle finishes because he fakes
seconds.
before he gets to the goal line. And oftentimes he fakes twice. So like here, I can't tell if he went low, high, low, or high, low, high. But a lot of times, like people think about faking when they get into position to score. But if you look, his first fake is before he's even at the goal line. He's a yard away.
Yeah.
Selling low and going low, high. And sometimes he sells high and then goes low, high too,
Right. And he's, looking down here too.
Right.
So, like we were saying early in the game, Cap made some great saves low, and then, had some success, starting to finish a little high. And so he's, knees are pretty bent, just late getting his stick up, and Kevin does a nice job bearing it for a big goal.
And that's in the back of the net for Atlanta.
It's 11-8 heading into the fourth. It's a tight game, starting to get things gelling. But it's good team offense right there.
Continues to play a fantastic game here in the opener.
50 little play.
6.5 minutes. Unfortunately couldn't get much going early in the quarter. We had some good looks, but got to finish. And 12-8 now.
Quick ball work. Quick look inside the power sack.
Class 2-point shot. He scores. Deemer Class.
There you go.
2-pointer.
Now, what shot did you shoot to be able to? Obviously, like you wouldn't have shot if you don't have 2-point range, but it still requires, a screen or deception. What were you doing to get that, to make it harder on the goalie?
Yeah, so I'll rewind it here. You see, Gibson, same idea. Like, look how physical he is. He gets this D-Mitty to hedge down, right? And then I'm always looking for this. I'm looking for this drift. We're just playing off that guy with the ball, giving him some space. So he's looking for some cutters. He's looking for Tommy in here. He's working. He's patient, right? This guy drifts down. Look how, 10 yards now that he's got to get back and recover. We're down 12-8. I think I took a 2 right possession before this. And then now I'm shooting around this guy. Same thing. I put it low. I think this went 5-hole.
Class 2-point shot. He scores.
He drops, but luckily, squeaked one in there. But yeah, I think to your point, catching and shooting around this guy.
It's the screenshot that made it. I mean, there's no doubt that screenshots are so much harder for goalies to save that, without the screen, it would have been a much more savable ball, I would say. Yeah,
absolutely. And I think too, I caught it. I didn't even catch it, that as clean as, maybe sometimes you would ideally like, but, like you said, this guy's approaching me. He sits at 15 yards. I kind of just saw that as an opportunity where if I could shoot around him, we needed a goal. We needed something here. So step in.
Class 2-point shot. He scores. Deemer Class.
12-8, 6 minutes left. It's a good game.
12-10, baby.
12-10, yeah. 12-10.
All right, what we got? 2 more goals? One more?
Last one here.
2-point shot. He scores. Deemer Class.
Yeah, that's it. We lost 13-10.
Oh, gotcha.
So.
Cool. Well, hey, Deemer, that was really fun, man. I hope people enjoyed checking it out. I know I did. I think it's really neat to be able to look at, to be able to watch you and hear your insights and just kind of I love the MLL. I haven't had a ton of opportunities to be a part of it, but last year with the Atlanta Blaze, total blast. Like I said, it was too bad we only got to work together for one game, but maybe we can do this again sometime. And looking forward to working with you tomorrow.
Yeah, absolutely. I really enjoyed it. I love, analyzing and breaking things down as well. So that was fun for me. Gone through these shots and goals a couple times now and just, looking to get better, for next week. So hopefully everyone enjoyed.
Awesome.
Definitely should do
this.
I
had a stick in my hand the whole time. I couldn't help it. It's hard to watch good highlights without having a stick in your hand sometimes,
Yeah, I've got 10 helmets off to my right here. Maybe I'll throw one on for time to get a little fired up.
Well, let's catch up soon, man. Appreciate the time. Looking forward. Deemer and I will be doing tomorrow. We'll be doing a little webinar on shooting, and fired up to work with you, and really enjoyed this. So we'll catch up later.
Awesome. Sounds good. Thanks for having me, Jamie.
All right, man. Take care. Bye-bye.
See ya.